our current capacity stands at 45,000 barrels a day. Ghana, none of these would take place without a judicious effort to appropriate funds to priority areas of national development and setting the market conditions that invites investment from within and from abroad. Our Marshall Plan should have as a priority to build the most technologically advanced refinery that has the capacity to refine our crude oil than we export. It would only create and increase the standard of living of our people, but allows us to capture the premium margins of the refining industry. A great model of study is the story of Norway, which enjoys one of the highest standards of living in the world, thanks in part to its oil processing industry and the financial stability and investment in education that has come with it. The country's biggest asset, our people, should be harnessed by developing an education policy that matches our 20-year development plan. Investors will come when the high-tech factories has been manned by a pool of trained talent. And examples you see in India, Taiwan, Malaysia, and South Korea. Might I remind you that education is a pillar of democracy. His Excellency, ask our dear President to dream even bigger dreams because he has the power to do so. Ask him to lead our nation with those dreams, with bold action and without fear. Ask the President to utilize the vast talented pool of young men and women, both home and abroad, to drive his dreams. The youth in most developing societies seek to make a name through their contributions, whilst the entrenched seek to amass wealth at the expense of the people. How can a group of leaders make policy for participants of that future? The youth should have a stake in this evolving democracy. Ghana, the immigration laws of the land does not allow dual citizenship holders to actively participate in our democracy. This is regressive and it is without leadership. Hiding behind the politics of ROPA and its divisive laws is an insult to the non-resident Ghanaians. I challenge our leadership to recognize the economic advantages and opportunities of the non-resident Ghanaians and to truly implement this law to its total transnational meaning if she has to harness the potential of citizens overseas. His Excellency, we ask the President to have the political will his predecessors did not have to change it. Ghana now more than ever needs the participation of all its citizens at home and abroad in order to reach its full potential. Ghana, oil can be a curse to a nation. Our clear, outlined vision should include an independent regional and social policy, an economic policy that delivers prosperity to all. That will be our democracy in development. Ghana can and must use its democratic gains in its core development policies. I believe, just as most of you do, that Ghana has great promise and its destiny will be shaped by our individual contributions to its development. Happy birthday, Ghana. May Ghana continue to prosper. May she continue to be the shining star of Africa. God bless Ghana. God bless the United States of America. Thank you and enjoy this evening.
Nananum, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's ambassador to the United States is a man of many accomplishments with a biography that stretches arm long. But suffice it to say that after Achimota and Legon, he entered the Foreign Service and has had various postings all over the world, from Israel, the Netherlands, Canada, where he was High Commissioner for several years, 1986 to, I believe, 1992, and has been in the US for the last 2 years. On the national scene in Ghana, he was, among many, many things, a regional minister for the Ashanti region and minister for the Accra region. In addition to which, he also served as Minister for Chieftaincy Affairs and State Protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure the ambassador would agree with me that all of his accomplishments would not have been possible without the support and encouragement of his dear wife. I present to you His Excellency, the Honorable Daniel Oini Achekum. A round of applause for our ambassador, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, for the very kind words. I have promised the chairman of KOGA that I'm going to be extremely, and I mean literally extremely brief, because I noticed that a number of us have itching feet. We want to. And that's why you probably have observed I walked up to the days, because as we say in Chi Niponko Epenintem. First of all, let me recognize the presence of, in our traditional way, in the US one might say, good evening everybody. Well, everybody is everybody, but we have chiefs, Nime, Name, and all of the important dignitaries here. So I do want to recognize the presence of all of you, members of KOGA, friends of Ghana, for joining us at this wonderful function. We as Ghanaians, as we celebrate the 54th anniversary of our freedom and independence from the colonial metropolitan power of Britain, the entire staff of our embassy in Washington, D.C. and my family join me in extending our very warm and heartfelt congratulations to all our Ghanaians here in the United States. Ghanaians both at home and abroad should be proud that in spite of all the challenges that confront the world today, as a people, we have succeeded in making modest but significant progress in our political, economic, and social spheres of life through our collective determination and efforts, and I emphasize collective, all of us. Ghana is now recognized throughout the world as the icon of democracy within the sub-Saharan region. Thank you for that. We have all won that description. And we will continue to ensure that all the appurtenances of democracy, those things that we normally associate with democracy, good governance, rule of law and all that, that underpin democratic institutions are being enhanced and promoted in Ghana. And even though this year the mission, as you may have read on our website, will not be marking the celebration formally with the usual reception. We would like to take this unique opportunity to extend our most sincere and profound gratitude to all our compatriots for their continued support in terms of development projects, among others, and also continue to encourage Ghanaians to take advantage of the business opportunities in the country, in your country, as we try to build a better Ghana. This is my message. But I'd like to take a few minutes to comment on two of the issues raised by your chairman. The first was about oil, and I noticed that throughout his speech there was emphasis on the oil. But those of you who were here last year and heard me would remember that as he recognizes, oil can do one or two things. And he said so. It can be a blessing. We all know that. But all that depends on how, as Ghanaians, we manage the resources that flow from the oil. And I can assure you, since last year, we have discovered even more greater oil reserves. It's running into billions of barrels. But again, as I said, we can and we should be able, as Ghanaians, to manage the resources efficiently, utilize the funds, the finances that flow from them intelligently, with a sense of discipline. If we can do that, then we can say the oil will act indeed as a catalyst for development, as a blessing for all of us. But on the other hand, I think we should all recognize that from the experience of other oil-producing countries, it could also be a case, as I said last year. I think we all know this. We have tried, it is taking some time, to build a legal frame that will define the parameters for the use of the resources that we gain from the oil. He mentioned refineries. That's only one of them. We have also the challenge of ensuring that whatever comes out of the resources, we will not spend all of it today, only to wake up tomorrow morning to realize that our children have nothing left for them. So while we think about using the resources for development, I believe that we also have to make sure that the future generations, our children and our grandchildren who come after us, will have something to live by. And I believe that's what the specialists, I'm not one of them, call sustainable development. The other issue which he raised is about dual citizenship. And I think if I heard him right, and I read right, he talked about Ghanaians not being allowed to actively participate in a democracy. With all respect to you, Mr. Chairman, I agree with you to a certain point, but I also disagree with you because the critical, the fundamental issue when we talk about participation in our democracy is not simply the dual citizenship. It is the issue of our loyalty. And all countries have it. Assuming that I hold a dual citizenship status, let's say in Canada, and I become the president of Ghana, I've never dreamt about that. Where would my loyalty lie? With the people of Canada or with Ghana? So it is an issue that we have to continue to raise legitimately and discuss. And hopefully will come to some sort of consensus. But for now, I'm afraid those of you who have dual citizenship cannot become president of Ghana or even ministers. But the matter is still under active discussion. And here I'd like to invite all of you. There is an opening, an opportunity for you to make your views heard. There is the Constitutional Review Committee. I believe that we have sent out information that members of the committee will be visiting various parts of the US sometime this month. And I would plead with you, those of you who have any ideas, such as the one espoused by your chairman, please don't hesitate to let us know what you think about a new constitution that will define the new path that we have to follow as Ghanaians. And here let me say this. When I use the word Ghanaian, I'm not talking about only Ghanaian citizens. I'm talking about Ghanaian nationals. Whether you are a citizen by law, by birth, or naturalization, I want to believe that once you are born, whether in Ghana or out of Ghana, to Ghanaian parents, or even one of them as a Ghanaian parent, I want to believe that we are all Ghanaian nationals. And we have a stake. But we never know when our children are going to go back to live in Ghana. So we all do have a stake in what happens in the development process as we move forward beyond 54 years. So on this note, Chairman, one more point, I beg you. Thank you all for inviting me, Mr. Chairman, and your executives. And I want to congratulate all the new members as well as the old ones who have been re-elected. I want to recognize indeed the enormous contribution that Mr. Affle, at least since I've been here, has made towards this association. Indeed, he has kept all of us together, including myself, and that's why I'm here. And I want to make a special appeal that under his leadership, let us see if we can get more associations joining or coming to share such a wonderful evening that is organized for all of us at least once in a year. And so on that note, Mr. DJ, you can start your music. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, His Excellency, for a beautiful speech. One more applause, a round of applause for His Excellency, who, by the way, has a birthday coming in just a few days. So, Mr. Ambassador, March 10th is your birthday. We think it's next Thursday. So, all together, happy birthday, Your Excellency. Thank you. Thank you. We want to just take a few moments to do a couple of quick administrative things, and then we'll have everybody back on the floor. The work of the council is all very voluntary, and so every so often we'll take the privilege at such a moment to bring all the representatives up front so you can see the representatives you've sent to the council. Just for a few minutes, and let's get to know them and introduce them, especially the newly elected executive members. So without wasting too much time, special guests who are here to grace our function with their presence tonight. We have Dr. and Mrs. Kofi Ajepong. What happened to Kofi? Oh, Kofi stepped away. Well, when he comes back, we'll introduce him again. But that's Mrs. Ajepong. Please take a bow. Mrs. Ajepong, thank you. We also have Mr. and Mrs. Ganyu Raji. Please take a bow right here. And we also have in our midst tonight former Ambassador and Mrs. Kobi Kumsin in our midst. Please take a bow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to dancing and DJ if you're ready.